Very good morning, guys. Today is our third day of Georgia tour, and we are today planned for the old city tour. Old cities looks very nice. I can continue with the videos and these things. Very nice city where the jeep line is there. We are very much excited to attend that jeep line from Dubai itself. But what we expected is not that much. It's a shorter zip line, monastery, then some old city designs, how it looks like. It's very amazing things. And the city of old city, it's around 11th century city. We are going to continue. You can see here the jeep lines, the colorful city, old planned cities. Looks very enthusiastic and amazing. You can see the tallest tower in the far end of the mountain. That is a TV tower for Georgia.
We're standing in a place where the story of the city begins from. It was begun by this man on a horse. His name is Vakhtang Gorgasali, and he was the king in the 5th century. He was hunting in the present-day Tbilisi territory, and while hunting, he wounded a pheasant, the bird. And the wounded pheasant flew away, and we can move to the shade if you like, because that big group moved. And the bird fell in the hot spring and got boiled there. The king became so fascinated by the discovering the naturally hot spring that he decided to build a city here and to call it Tbilisi. Tbili in Georgian means what? Warm. Exactly. He was a wise king, and he didn't decide to build a city here just because of the hot waters and to make it as a capital also just because of the hot waters. The thing is that it had good strategic location. It was protected by mountains from 3 sides, and on the 4th side there was the river. There used to be 3 fortresses also protecting the city. One you can see, another one was at that church on the top of that hill, and the third one was standing where we are now. So the capital had to be very well protected. Why? Because we were always in the middle of Christianity and Muslim religion, middle of mighty empires like Rome, then Byzantium, Persia, Turkey, and so on. Whenever the dogs appear or the cats, I lose the attention of the people. The church was built in the 13th century. It is called Looming Church in the Medahi Church. There used to be the palace of the king here in the Middle Ages, but the palace hasn't survived either. On the other side of the river, what you can see is the castle. The castle is called Narikala Castle, built in the 17th. Narikala. What you see, that castle now dates from the 17th century, but there has been the castle since 4th, 5th century there. Then the old part of the city with wooden balconies. The balconies would create the shade for the homes. That was the purpose. You also can see Mother of Georgia, the silver statue with the sword and the bow. The sword was to protect if enemy would come, and the bowl, what it would be? Bowl of what? In the bowl, what would we have? Wine. So if one would come as a friend, would be met with a bowl of wine. The Mother of Georgia. And we can see the TV tower also that we saw from the bus, and the restaurant at the foot of the TV tower. What on the top of the hill, and you can see a lot of churches. Some of them, most of them are Georgian. The blue roofed church is Armenian. We have the synagogue. We have the mosque. Do you see the mosque on that side at the foot of the fortress? And we have the even Zoroastrian temple, not functional, but the fire temple. So the people of different nationalities and different ethnicities were living in Georgia in harmony. It was always multi-ethnical city, Silk Road, the heart of the Caucasus, middle of Europe and Asia, and so on.
When was this built? The mother of Georgia?
Mother of Georgia is Soviet statue. The first time it was built was in 1950s, and now it was wooden. And this one dates from the end of the 20th century, the 90s.
So it's made of wood.
No, it's not wooden. The first one was removed, and they put the new one.
This is made of wood.
This is aluminum. It is covered in aluminum. 20 meters in height.
Are we gonna go there?
Yes.
We are going to go up there. Would you like a group photo? Would you like photos?
We got tiger from India. We got tiger from the movie.
Hey guys, here we are in the Europe Square. Cable car launching platform where in one car there will be 8 persons sitting, 8 person in one car will be accordingly zooming it up from this is a mushroom building. It's a multi-purpose building where you get all the documents,
अरे सारी वाला बैग भर लो कभी तक So here we are 6, 7,
अरे फोटो एडिट नहीं होगा केबल
तो अच्छी ना ये साइड से हमारे
बेटा
और तू खाली कोण समजली आपण
छोटी आटा गेलो किती पानर आहे म्हणतात
ಅವನನೇ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ತಿನ್ನಿ ಮಾಸದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಬೆತ್ತಕಂಟ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು
आम्ही जो contact है so here you can see on the cable tray of the cable tray this is the chart we are planning to cable tray karo fish bridge and the river
tablet for
we are on just off of the old town of Tbilisi.
Collier was alone.
Look here, auntie.
अरे बता मैं ये करना वो मैं एठी उतरिया ए बेटा कैसे थी दादी
Yes.
मम्मी
Aila, radio, only. Here there will be the stop. We will have to go out from here. After reaching here, you can see the beautiful view of old town of Tbilisi. You can find it how here the balconies are made of interesting designs. You can see here the pine trees, and these are the viewpoints. Once you will pay one lari for 2 minutes, you can enjoy the view through the balcony. Here now we are climbing up. You can see the pine trees.
टैबलेट है भीतर है दोनों बॉडी एक तुम्हारी and other two are there. Oh, that's it.
You can see here, we are nearer to the waterfall in the old city of Tbilisi. You understand what Dr. Lock means? Yes.
There is a secret portal that brought us to
I hope guys you understand this. And you have to eat your lunch.
Oh, beer one is one.
In Georgia, this waterfalls are and much more. Everywhere you will find this waterfall. But we are horrible from the water. Right? Because we are coming from Abu Dhabi, basically from the country of UAE. And here, every day you take some rain. And yesterday,
This is the cherry, I think. It's cherry. Hi. Very good. No, you can see here we are inside the market. It's called as underground market, where you will find it maximum of the chocolates, wines is basically with their traditional pack-up. It's an underground market. Previously this was held in upper level, but now there will be road and everything, so it's shifted to the underground. You can see here is a cart with the horns. You can see here some ornaments. This is the cart with their ruler, previous ruler. Here you see the ornaments. Here is their coins and amps.
Baby, no, baby.
explore here. Explore here also.
Anya, dance.
This is my specialty.
Hello.
Hi, PUD, don't record, just stay in the Excuse me. Uncle, look, the details, maybe you like
Baby, come here. Hi. Here we are just entering to the peace bridge of 2008 between Georgia and Russia. It's just a monument to remember the peace treaty between Georgia and Russia. It's just a walkover bridge. You can enjoy the side of roads, the river. The tied with the chain pulley. I think these chain pulleys are for the maintenance purpose. You can see here the two-way roads. And we will have a boating facilities also here. So you can see from the Peace Bridge the three locations, and here is one peak. Here you can see all the locations we have visited morning, and here the second one we are going to be there. Thank you, thank you.
No big man. No. No.
How much? No.
Standing at Tbilisi Monastery, but in English it's translated as Cross Monastery. It dates from the 6th century and it is UNESCO Heritage Site. Tbilisi Monastery is the masterpiece of early Christian architecture in not only in Georgia but in the whole region. It is overlooking town of Tbilisi. The location of it is also fascinating. The town of Tbilisi is located at the confluence of two rivers, Tbilisi and Aradi. Tbilisi used to be the capital of Georgia before Tbilisi, from the 4th century before Christ until 5th century AD, so approximately for 900 years. Very interesting is also the statue, the sculpture above the door of the two angels ascending the cross. That one also dates from the 6th century, and the influence of Hellenistic Greek art, influence of Persian art, and influence of Georgian art can be seen in this statue, relief more exactly, and it is also recognized as a masterpiece of early Christian sculpture. Thank you.
Here you can see the monastery is standing in between the two rivers. You can see both the rivers are meeting point here, then it flows towards the town. This is the city. Entering to the some parts of these are under construction. Here above the restoration works are undergoing. Next time, whenever it's available, we can show you. Here it is believed that Mother Mary gave birth to Jesus Christ. Here, how much speed winds are coming up from the down, and you can see the university doing point. How amazing. Maybe video इधर तमाशा किया जाओ. Hello guys, we are in Mosketa now, one of the holiest place in Georgia. Mosketa.
It wasn't live, right?
No. Here we are here the holiest church in Georgia, and which is built on 11th century, and my friend will brief it very nicely soon. So
With pleasure.
yes,
Maybe better when we enter and you see the cathedral or not?
yes, no, once you will enter.
Standing at Tbilisi Cathedral, which was built in the 11th century, the golden age for Georgia. And Tbilisi is the holiest place in Georgia because Christ's robe is buried there. When we enter, you will feel that, but you will not see the Christ's robe. But you have the feeling that you are in a really holy, special place. Thank you.
Here you can find the dress code. Without dress code, might be there will be some changes, and they are offering the dress codes. You have to follow the dress code. Here we are just entering to the cathedral church. See, here they are providing the dress codes for gents, for ladies caps. Here we just entered, you can see the Jesus Christ, and as he mentioned, Jesus Christ's robe is buried here. It's the holiest church and is built on 11th century. That is the period of golden era in the Georgian history.
That is the holiest place that I mentioned. This is where the Christ's robe is buried. And they put symbolically the column to mark that holy place. The column dates from the 17th century, though originally in the 1st century there was the tree grew up on the grave of that lady who was buried together with the Kaiser, and that tree was standing here. Then they cut down the tree and built the first wooden church in the 4th century. And from that
that tree, when they cut down that tree, the holy oil started coming out, and it would cure the sick people. That's why they named the cathedral, the church, sorry, Sveti Tchoveli, which means life-giving healer. Later in the 5th century, they built a stone basilica. You can see the remains of it behind the glass. And later in the 11th century, golden age for us, they built this magnificent cathedral. And they put in the 17th century this column to mark the place where Christ's robe is buried. The frescoes are also from the 17th century. You can see here the crucifixion. You see Christ is crucified, and there is Virgin Mary and John Baptist on both sides. Their faces are scratched. The Muslim invaders, when they would invade us, they would scratch the faces of the holy of our saints, because it is considered blasphemous for them. They consider Christ as a saint, so they are not against Christ. But putting the pictures of them is blasphemous. There is very interesting. By the way, if you come here, you will see the legend that I just told you. You see the tree, the Jewish lady buried with the robe against her breast, and the tree grew up on her grave, and then they cut down the tree and the holy oil started coming out. Here are Georgian saint kings and queens, and here are Georgian saint monks, and the icon is called the glory to Georgia. We consider our country is blessed because we have such holy relic as Christ's robe. Tchoveli used to be also the burial place for the Georgian kings and crowning place. The crowning ceremony we cannot see, but their graves we can see. Yeah, these are where you see the bilingual, so Russian and Georgian. This is from 19th century when we were already part of Russia. They're our Bagration family, who were our royal family from 9th to 19th century for long. It was their emblem, symbol. Yeah. The Triton, that they were kings of the country with the robe of Christ. Saint George, our saint patron saint. Scale, that they were fair rulers. Swords, that they were powerful rulers. And this is David's harp, biblical David, if you know, from the Old Testament. They consider themselves as descendants of biblical David to authorize their seat on the throne. That is the tomb of grave of Vakhtang Gorgasali, the founder of Tbilisi. Today in the morning we saw the statue of a man on a horse. That's his tomb. This one. Here the patriarch will sit here, and the
So he was actually buried.
Huh?
Yeah.
He was actually buried here.
No.
He's actually buried here.
Buried here?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is his burial. The marble is new, but it's his burial. Yeah,
So
marble was recently changed.
Yes.
The king had the steel throne. The patriarch and the king were sitting face to each other, so they were equal in their power. But today the patriarch sits over there in the wooden one. When there is the service, there is special part of the service when the patriarch sits on that throne. Nobody else, or the high bishop. Not ordinary people cannot sit on that throne. This is 17th. This is also the town, by the way, you will see the town Sighnari, who was built during this king, King Regla II, 18th century. He's also buried here. And the last king of Georgia on the opposite side, George XII, who died in 1800. His son, this King Kartlis son, and after that, no more kings. The Russians abolished, took away our freedom.
Where is that robe of Jesus?
Robe of Jesus is that, and this is the last coming of Christ. Again, last judgment, second coming of Christ. You see the ships are drowning and fantastic figures like nine-headed dragons. That's where the sinners will go. And the procession of the righteous people all headed towards Christ. Do you see Christ in the white circle? The interesting thing about that fresco is that on the white circle is given what? If you look attentively, zodiac
Peace.
signs. There are very few churches in the world where you can see the zodiac signs.
Yes,
and
zodiac
this is the
sign.
only one in Georgia. And so when the priests are asked why the zodiac signs are given, they say that it's just constellation, and it gives the idea of heaven, and also their number is 12, and the church is dedicated to 12 apostles of Christ, and symbolically each sign is for each month of the
Yes.
apostles. And there is also the sun in the center up, and there is the moon at the bottom. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So the idea of heaven, and also symbolically their number 12, number of 12 apostles. You can see the 12 apostles icon over there at the iconostasis. If you walk that direction, you can see the light here in the
Before that. Yeah, so do you have those also? It is completely Georgian.
Yes, of course. Yeah, those are
The other one which is completely Georgian is before that.
themselves inside the monastery, and so they would have the one drinking water, and they would have the hiding places. Do you see the door up there? That's where they would put the treasury, and also people could go and hide there. There are secret, yes, but the door wouldn't be so obvious. Yeah, it would be the camouflage. You would go up there by means of rope, and then you would pull up the rope and hide. You got it?
Is it cleaning frequently or how?
No, we do not bring them.
The whale we have just shown you. This is the for the as you see explained you already. This is for the survival. Whenever any enemy attack or something will become, they will put the treasuries on the upper level and. And as he mentioned here, there are two kings are buried here. Is from 1720 to 1798. After that, his father is buried here.
Invaders of the abstract.
They were Muslims, and for Muslims it's blasphemy.
Yes.
Here we can see the church
Okay.
and king of the 4th century, King Midian, who ordered building the church on the site where Christ's robe was buried. It didn't look like that in the 4th century, obviously, but the fresco is from the 17th, when the church
Already built. Okay.
This is also the 4th century Georgian Christian king who asked Byzantium. And that's the icon that I was talking about. Yeah, my niece was back.
It's the amazing weather here in Tbilisi. There is rain clouds. It's dazzling. So now we are hurriable to the bus because of rain.